Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, introducing you to my Ghost Recon Future Soldier Elite Difficulty video walkthrough. This is the third part to Valiant Hammer, and unfortunately, this is, well, I say unfortunately, this is actually the fun part of the mission, so I don't even know why I said that word. This is the only part of the mission I enjoy, this and the next section, because it's different, and I like different. And all we're doing here is we're pushing through this cemetery, this graveyard area, and we're going to be taking out snipers. And these snipers fire very quickly because it is elite, and they'll probably kill you if they hit you right. Bear in mind, it's AI, so you never know when they're going to shoot you, so your best bet is to try and be as quick as possible. I've played this before, obviously, so I know the positions of the snipers, but the first time I engaged these guys was pretty fun. And I do think there's an additional challenge for killing them all without them either shooting you or shooting your teammates or something. I'm not too sure what it is, but it's also another challenge that's not very difficult to do as long as you play it intelligently. But up to now, this has been just a filler level, and this part really actually makes it stand out. I would have preferred this to be a shorter mission with just this section and the section that follows, because there needs to be peaks and valleys in this kind of game, or you realise what you're doing too soon and it becomes repetitive. And unfortunately that's what this is. So there you go, and without being shot, that's what you've got to do. Kill all the snipers without them getting a shot off on you. So, not very difficult to do when you know what you're doing, but I suppose it's very simple to fuck it up if you take too long. The rest of this section, however, is back to the old, you know, shoot every dude in the room nonsense. And I don't know. I don't know why I don't like it on this mission and I like it on all the others, but this specific one I just don't enjoy. And I do apologise if anything just got picked up on the mic, because I keep forgetting I've got my window open and this microphone's pretty sensitive. So instead I have to sit and swelter as this laptop pumps out significantly more heat than it should do, because the CPU is a bag of shit right now. But you'll notice I favour the sniper rifle. I've always kind of favoured sniper rifles on Ghost Recons because you can stay as far back and you can smash people without being much of a threat. And I mean, look at this. There's why would you ever want to run and gun when you can just do this? Anybody that wants a quick and easy achievement / trophy, this is the way, man. Stay back, use your team. Job's a good one. And this is not a challenging level. The only challenging level of the game, I believe, is the final one, and that's just because they completely changed the playstyle and they force you to be super aggressive, and I don't think it suits Ghost Recon at all. But I'll discuss that when we get there. But yeah, shoot dudes frequently. That is the meal of the day. Wolf it down as quickly as possible, and you'll be able to get to the next more interesting missions. So I should probably talk about some different topics, because this is one of those guides where I can do that, because you don't need me to hold your hand through everything. You can do this. It is not a difficult game. Do I regret making the guide? Not really, because it doesn't have to be that challenging of a game for me to make content for it, because I just like putting content out there, and hopefully when I can get a better setup, I'll be able to do it more frequently and build this into the beautiful empire that I mentioned so long ago in my early videos. But you probably have to be a member of the legend list to really understand the empire I used to speak about, because I don't really mention it this much anymore, because, you know, I wouldn't say it's because I'm less optimistic. I've just realised that building a YouTube channel is much more difficult than I anticipated, because I'm deluded in a good way. So much as I believe every endeavour that I partake in, I'll be able to do it to the best of my abilities, and the best of my abilities is usually pretty good. However, on YouTube, it doesn't really matter how good you are. It's all about luck, and I'm not a lucky guy, so I'm blaming that for my lack of, you know, I don't have 1 million subscribers right now, but fingers crossed in time I will build my own Rome and the people will come. But this is shooting dudes a lot, so I'm going to talk off tangent, and I'm in a massive Dark Souls, or I'm in a massive Souls mood, because I've done nothing but play them these last 2 days. I haven't gone on any other game. Like, I haven't been on my Xbox for 2 days now, because I'm playing Demon Souls, and everybody who watches my, you know, my PlayStation 3 tag or ID, I don't know what they call the thing on PlayStation, because I really do not get that system at all for stuff. I don't understand a lot of it. Like, why does it always ask me, or warn me, should I say, about photosensitive epilepsy? Surely I know what photosensitive epilepsy is, because half of the fucking doctors blame video games for causing it. Like, why does it tell you every time you turn it on? Every time you turn it on, do not die from flashing lights. Be wary of flashing lights. It's like, I don't get it. Why? Somebody give me answers. Can I switch it off? Because it irritates the tits off me. And like the colour scheme in the background, I like how it changes, but why does it sometimes change to stuff that is really aesthetically ugly compared to the other things? And I'm not even going to go into the updates, because the updates fuck me off. I don't know who the engineers are that are optimizing the Sony, you know, software, because the hardware of the PlayStation 3 is amazing. Hardware-wise, it is fantastic. Software-wise, it is fucking dog shit. Why the hell does an update last so damn long? Like, if the Xbox updates were as long as the PlayStation 3 ones, I don't think I'd play a next-gen console. I think I'd be a PC gamer, because I do not have the fucking patience to sit and wait for this bullshit to happen. And I generally just play offline on PlayStation, because it irritates me so much. But back on tangent anyhow, playing Demon Souls, and it makes me laugh that everybody attacks Blighttown on Dark Souls because the frame rate is really bad in that specific area of the game. But Demon Souls, even on PS3, which is the only place it's available, frame rate's fucking awful. Like, in every area. There's certain moments when you can do certain things where there's a lot on screen and the frame rate just dives. It absolutely dive bombs. And it's kind of gay, but it doesn't really detract much because it doesn't happen all that often. It's just when it does, it's really noticeable. And the Dark Souls frame rate isn't great either, but I expected Demon Souls to be maybe less ambitious with its environments so that it wouldn't be so much of a case. I was wrong, and sometimes it's interesting. But the game still looks sharp considering it's kind of old. I am tempted to see how good Dark Souls looks on PlayStation, because apparently the Xbox version I'm playing is a port, and we all know that ports generally don't look as good as the console they were designed for, which is one of the main reasons why the PS3's third-party market kind of looks pretty rough at times in certain areas for things, because they were designed on a console that's hardware is not as strong. And we all know that the dev kit for the PlayStation is much more difficult to use than the Xbox one, because they've had less time to master it, and the only people that can really, you know, get that high mark of quality are these Sony affiliated companies. But Demon Souls is so interesting, guys. I mean, if you've never played it, it's interesting. Like, if I played Demon Souls first before Dark Souls, I don't think I would have got into the Soul series, because I spent the start of the game not quite enjoying it, and it's not because I was dying, because I wasn't dying. It's not because, you know, it's not similar to Dark Souls, because the games are very similar. It's just, I think it's the level design. The level design on Dark Souls, if you've played it, is phenomenal. It's so fluid. Every time you go to an area, you're unlocking, you know, shortcuts to make that area better to reverse. You come into places you don't quite understand, and then later on in the game you come back there and it completely makes sense. There is some of this to an extent in Demon Souls, but it's nowhere near as well put together. And some levels, they just feel like they're a mess. And it takes the enjoyment away, because some of the shortcuts aren't really fully realised or all that aware, or all that apparent, should I say, of exactly what they are. And it just makes for an experience that is less than fun at times. And the enemy placements and the placement of traps and the placement of falls is so much cheaper in Demon Souls. Like, I think Demon Souls is a harder game, but not because of the gameplay. Demon Souls is a harder game for me because of the bullshit, and there is so much bullshit. It's literally, you will get dead-ended by dudes on corners, where you turn a corner and you've been punched by an enemy sat on the corner. Like, you'll go into a room and there'll be a dude that'll jump from the left or right of you, and Dark Souls does have some of this to an extent, but Demon Souls is like the fucking main course. It's just full of it. And it's disjointed in areas. Like, you can fall from stupid high like places and not die. and then other times you'll fall from something that looks like a survivable fall and you'll die. And it's... And I'm in New Game Plus right now, and the difficulty spike is massive. Like everybody says, the difficulty jump in Dark Souls from New Game to New Game Plus is so much harder than New Game, and I completely disagree. I think New Game Plus was easy. The only thing about it is you take a lot of damage, and as long as you've got good armor, a good shield, and good knowledge of the game, you can avoid taking damage. Demon Souls, not so much. Like, the combat in Demon Souls seems to be faster. It's almost like on Dark Souls that they slowed it down intentionally to make it more methodical, and I'm not too sure if I prefer it because I do like the speed of the previous game, but it also means that they give you more mobs. Like, I very rarely get mobbed on Dark Souls because the enemies are placed in such a way that you can generally get them one at a time and you can beat them on your own terms. Demon Souls, they generally throw a lot more guys at you in close proximity, so you end up fighting maybe 3, 4, sometimes 5 or 6 guys. And anybody who's played a Soul game knows that one enemy can kill you, and if you get spammed by a bunch of enemies, you're going to have a really, really hard time dealing with it, because your stability and your shield will not do enough. I just got a checkpoint there. That is the end of the video though, guys. Bit abrupt on the topic, but thanks for watching. I'm going to continue my Demon Souls discussion in the next one, so you take care now.